You were strolling along in Goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. It's June 10th, 2020. They lie. The propaganda, they lie. I don't like this camera angle. You're looking down my throat with this camera.
I can see what you had for breakfast there, big boy. Yeah, we might need to raise it up a little bit, but we're getting there. For those of you that are streaming, today, just to make it interesting, we are doing the show in the nude. Wait, let me turn the light up.
Okay, all right. Is that better?
Now it won't be quite so terrible.
They lie. I was saying they lie, and the Colonel, you had made the comment. We all know this, but go ahead and say it again.
All right, this is the biggest triumph of propaganda over reason and science. Well, science has been taken over by political, they've subverted scientists into politicians, but the propaganda, they've destroyed our economy for a virus that is a quote, pandemic that doesn't even hardly make the top 10 in world history and isn't any worse than the flu, and they've lied about every statistic. It is just abysmal.
Let's go a little further. Bill, we had discussed Dr. Fauci.
You know what? It's funny because as soon as he started that, I thought, okay, I'm flipping. I'm not going to do my original first thought. I want to do the second one. Good old Dr. Fauci, the infectious disease expert, on Tuesday called the coronavirus his worst nightmare. Oh my God, we're all going to die. And warned that the fight against its spread is far from over. The bleak outlook from Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, comes as the U.S. continues to slowly reopen from lockdown, while grappling with massive protests in cities over the police killing of George Floyd. See how we got that in there? In a period of 4 months, it has devastated the whole world, Fauci said during a virtual appearance at the conference held by Biotechnology Innovation Organization. And it ain't over yet.
Now, everybody, as Bill continues to read, your stomach should be turning, okay? Get ready. Go ahead, Bill.
There's a direct relationship between Fauci's concern and how well Trump is polling. The higher he polls, the more concerned Fauci becomes.
Absolutely.
But there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Do not jump off the roof yet, okay? Fauci added that there is still a world of uncertainty around the virus and how it spreads and impacts the body. Are you scared yet? He said COVID-19 is much more complex than HIV. HIV. We had to say HIV because I don't think you're appropriately scared yet, but HIV is scary, so we thought we would throw that in there. A virus he spent his career studying because of the varying levels of seriousness and infections. Is HIV a big deal? Oh, hell yes. Lost a good friend, Mark, to it. Oh, my goodness, Fauci added. Where is it going to end? We're still at the beginning of really understanding. Fauci said vaccines will be the only way to stop the spread of the coronavirus, though he did express confidence that an antidote is in the works.
I hope flags are popping with everybody.
Oh my God!
Now, look, we start off with propaganda. The Colonel makes a comment about how the more serious Fauci gets is when Trump's numbers get higher, which is a total correct statement.
It's so
and,
true.
And
It's
Bill
a
is
corollary.
and Bill is stating here through an article that, well, we all know who Fauci works with and works for, and
Yeah.
we're all talking about vaccines. We're talking money. Follow the freaking money. Follow the agenda. Follow the depopulation thought process of Bill Gates and where it goes.
And please be really scared. He did mention HIV, because HIV is like a horrible, horrible, horrible disease.
You know, you could take one of these topics and see who the players are, dissect it, and realize it's a sham. And when you say, wait a minute, if they're shamming me on such a huge freaking level, can you imagine the shams they've been doing to me for years now on smaller levels and different levels?
How many people had HIV and died a year or two later? My buddy Mark went down like he'd been hit by a truck, man. It was horrible. I think what ended up killing the man was thrush, that disease you get as a baby where you get a little infection in your mouth. But if you have no immune system, it'll kill you, and it's ugly. So, but apparently if you're a multimillionaire like Magic Johnson, what? How long has he been HIV positive?
They have the antidote. It's just that it's more.
Can you afford it?
It's more money
Gotcha.
for them to pay for the medicine to treat it, not cure it. We've all talked about that before. I'll bet you there's cures for cancer out there, but it makes a hell of a lot more money doing treatments.
You remember that crazy guy yesterday that was going on and on about this is all a movie, don't buy the bullcrap. I forget who was saying that, but he was jumping up and down on the microphone like he was about to lose his damn mind.
This whole thing, the number of deaths, right? Floyd, one person, and I don't want to minimize one person, but in Chicago they kill one every 14 hours by gunfire, and every 2 hours.
You mean the
30
cops? You mean the cops kill one?
No, the cops have told this year. We were just reading these statistics. There are 250 something people already murdered this year, and the cops have killed 3 and wounded 2.
See there?
Cops
See?
are horrible.
It's the cops.
And black on black does not count. It's
If we-
got to be white on black. to
You know,
count.
if Chicago defunds the cops, I predict the murder rate is going to go right to zero.
All right, let's go back over this here. Let's think about this. For everybody who knows out there, if we look at this and analyze it, we know it's propaganda. Who's pushing it? You've got a November 3rd election coming up. Nobody wants Trump in office. Well, we do, but nobody wants Trump in office, so everything gears around that. You look back in the past, and we're reiterating this stuff just to put you back at ease, because sometimes, even though when you're in the know, you can get inundated with all this crap, and no matter how hard you wash yourself, you still smell like it, okay? So what we're doing here is just reiterating the facts, and the facts are November 3rd is right around the corner. They're going to do whatever they can to get Trump out of there. They still got the nuclear option on hold. They've done everything from, what's the woman's name? What's her name? The prostitute woman?
Oh, yeah.
Whatever.
Who
Then
cares?
you've got Russia. Then you got impeachment. You got all these different things, and now we're coming up to COVID, the lockdown, the economy, and we are now beginning to see Trump saying, "Hey, the rallies are coming back, and the people are getting fired up and pumped up." Oh my gosh, Colonel Dr. Fauci comes into play, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, we can't possibly allow Trump to have a rally. We can't have this. We can't have this.
NPR will promote protests all day long, walking shoulder to shoulder. But my gosh, if you have a Trump rally, you can't do that. It's dangerous because of COVID-19.
COVID knows not to affect you if you're at a protest. but if you're at a rally, it's certainly going to.
If you're just going to race NASCAR, you can't do that.
You know, the problem is nothing has stuck to Trump.
Nothing.
And it's funny because he's not perfect. He is not squeaky clean. But
That's a good point.
my God,
We're
what's
all
going to
dirty.
be the November surprise? Are you going to find some girl that says that in 3rd grade Trump grabbed her right by the pencil sharpener? I don't know.
October surprise is Michelle Obama.
Oh, my God. Well, it ain't going to be anything about Trump. I don't know how you're going to slap this guy down, which, by the way, I saw a great video yesterday. They took about 25 MRAPs and put them on the grounds of the Capitol building.
All right, we're going to take a break. Be back in 3. See you on the other side. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Betros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Here's a question from Smith Supply. Who do you turn to for guidance when it comes to cleaning, disinfecting, or pool maintenance? From janitorial supplies, paper goods, and pool life pool supplies, at Smith Supply, we deliver what others promise. At a time when just about anyone can offer you a good deal, Smith Supply is where you'll find the best answers and customer service. We're located at 5202 Midway Drive behind Garland Shelton Pre-Owned Center in Temple. Smith Supply has everything to clean anything.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
And welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. It's June 10th, 2020. Matt, your host here. I got Bill Huffman, executive producer. The Colonel, Rayford Brown. Got Troopers Morgan and Washko coming in tonight. So get your questions ready. If you got questions concerning traffic, laws, things of that nature, penal code, it'll be a great conversation like it always is. Also, we're going to do devotional quotes and announcements, true stories. The Colonel will be talking Constitution today. Colonel, give us a little snippet.
We're going to do the 24th Amendment. We're going to talk about the right of citizens to vote in the primary.
Fantastic. Also, Trump rallies may start up as early as next week. Outdoor arenas. Can't wait. Sleepy Joe, I'm sure, is seriously in trouble here, thinking he's in trouble. I mentioned this earlier. NPR gleefully broadcasts thousands at protests, but says Trump rallies will be dangerous due to COVID-19. And once again, it goes back to what the Colonel initially said. You notice how the media changes its platform when the numbers for Trump start to go up. And I don't believe the CNN study as well when it says that Trump's down 14 points to Biden. That's a bunch of bull. Also, is our donations to blacklivesmatters.com being funneled to the DNC? That's money laundering if it is.
and they are the best at that. Remember, there was some big charity that the money was going to Ilhan Omar, and it was supposed to be for something.
Well,
That's what it was, Colonel Food Pantry.
I have a list here, top vendor recipients from blacklivesmatters.com, and I'll get to it shortly. Let me just read through what we've got going on today so you can give us a call if you got a question or a topic. Actually, I haven't given the number out yet. If you want to be on the show, give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. That's 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media is at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA.
Oh, Matthew, one of my crazy friends just texted me on Twitter. He says, if Trump just calls the rallies protests, they're protected and nobody gets sick.
Nobody gets sick. There you go. Black America is arming themselves, and I'm glad for it too. Those who buy guns through a dealer, no matter the race, are thoroughly checked if they're legal to own one. So to not just blacks, but to all people, if you're legal, welcome to freedom. I'll watch your back. Please watch mine too. Okay, let me hold off on this. Let me get Rick on the line. He's out there on the highways and delivering products for us so that we can get it at the stores. And Rick, it's always a pleasure. Once I get this phone up here, I'll get you on the air. I appreciate you calling. Right. Thanks for listening. What's on your mind, buddy?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good, Rick. How you doing?
I'm doing great. The Democrats are hungry for power. They're greedy for power, and greed is evil. They don't care about who they hurt as long as they get power. If you don't believe that, look at the blue states in the coronavirus. Look at the blue states unlawful rate in the blue cities and all that stuff. Look at Minneapolis, New York, all of that. All right?
Rick, it's evident based on 2016. We can go all the way back to 2015, 2016, and watch the progression of what the media and the Democrats have done to destroy this country just to get the man out who is draining the swamp. There's too many dead bodies in that swamp, too many cars with their rooftops starting to show because the swamp is draining. These people are freaking out. And like we've said before on the show, they're wounded. And when you get a wounded animal, it's more dangerous. So we can
This is true. And in contrast, another point I was trying to make was Zig Ziglar says you can have anything in life if you just help enough other people, serve enough other people. You can have anything in life you want. Trump is serving the American people. If you don't believe, if anybody doesn't believe that, they can look at what he's done for the American people. Poverty rates gone down. Unemployment rates is.
Let me go out on a limb here. I don't think I'm going out on a limb, but think about this. What really has Trump done that is so bad? He's got a braggadocious mindset. He's got a few quirks. He's not conceited. He's more, hey, I'm a winner. And the people who are so vehemently against him, they cannot come up with any stable or rational reason as to why they hate him other than what I just said. I don't think there's any hope for us to convince these people otherwise. So what we need to do is to get those people who are undecided, and I'm telling you, the people who are undecided, you're driving me freaking crazy. If you can't figure it out by now, man, I'm really going to question your sanity. Go ahead. What do you think, Rick?
I agree. But what Trump's done that is so bad for the Democratic Party is he has exposed them. And people like Mitt Romney. And I'll go even, he's exposed them for what they are.
They've been in office for years, some 30-plus years.
I got to go.
All right, Rick. Appreciate the call.
Bye.
Some of these politicians have been in office for 30-plus years, and what have they gotten done? Trump comes in 3-something years. He gets more accomplished with what they've done, and that makes them look bad. They can't do this because these these politicians are playing a game with each other for self-gain, self-control. They're power-hungry individuals for self-sorted gain. Whereas Trump comes in, he just wants the best for America. And if you look at it and you see, hey, man, if you were getting ripped off every year by some company, millions and millions of dollars, would you let it continue to happen? Or would you say, hey, we're going to put a stop to this? Any right-minded person would say, fantastic job. That's the way you do it. Well, that's what he's doing for us when it comes to China and all these other countries, NATO, China, people putting in their fair share.
Just had a caller, Matt, and he didn't want to go on the air because he is right now waiting on his wife. She is in therapy and chemotherapy, and so before I even share his point, let's just share that and let's say, hey, friends, take a minute and say, Lord, put your hand on that woman. Thy will be done. Now to his comment. Not only Republicans, but it's Democrats that are part of the swamp. Colonel, I think, is it fair to say that the most insidious ones are the Republicans because they're supposed to be good guys?
If you just go down the roster, the published roster, you can find it on the internet, of who is a CFR member or affiliate.
What does CFR stand for, Colonel?
Council on Foreign Relations.
Well, that should be a good
one
thing.
One world socialist government.
Oops.
And one world financial system. So if you look at that, you'll find there are a large number of Republicans. As a matter of fact, in the presidential primary this last time in 2016, son of a gun, Trump was the only one that wasn't a member. And that's why they really hate him. It's because he's not under their control.
You know, I love the naming conventions. CFR sounds like Council on Foreign Relations. Hell yeah, I'm for that.
Trilateral Commission. Hey, I'm for that.
Well,
Club of Rome. I'm for that.
Trilateral is a big word. All
right, look, I got Mark on the line before the break here. Let me get him on and see what he's got. Mark, appreciate you calling. Thanks for listening. What's on your mind, buddy?
Yeah, I just want to remind you all and beg the AJ and your best common callers to reference on the God ordained. My wife sat up in 1979 after we got married and struck out of bed. The Holy Spirit hit her, and she said, "That man's going to be great someday." Shaking her finger at the TV. Oh, dang it! I know he's going to be great someday, and he's going to make the second time. If he doesn't, this country and the whole world will be going to hell.
Well, the country is going to hell, and the whole world is going to hell. And Trump's about the only one who's slowing it down. If he wasn't there, he'd been full course into the pit, the fire. I swear.
I'd like to say a short
you.
prayer for Barr.
Short prayer
Attorney
for Barr.
General Barr.
Oh my gosh, yes. AG Barr, I think you're a pit bull.
Since you're calling, I want to hear from you.
All right, Mark, appreciate the call. All right, so we've got lots of prayers going up. We just need to pray every day. Pray for this country, pray for our leaders.
Wild concept.
Yeah, it's a great concept. Pray for your leaders. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media at Facebook, Vimeo, and YouTube at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Be back in 3.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years, as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here. It is June 10th, 2020. I got Bill Huffman, executive producer, and the Colonel, Rayford Brown, with me. Give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media is at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. I'd like to hear what you got to say. But right now, what I'd like to do before we get the Colonel's segment on is I want to do our devotional. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been doing devotionals for many years. And if you're faithful listeners, you've heard this before. But I've been doing it for many years to a long list of people. And I've been blessed to have the opportunity to do it, not only via text early in the morning, but now here on the radio show as well. So if you're not into this kind of thing, stick your fingers in your ear, lower the volume, or maybe, just maybe, take a chance and listen. It may prick your heart and draw you closer to Him. Today's devotional reads, Good morning. The troubles of our mind and heart, God knows them all. This comes from Psalms chapter 6, verses 6 through 10. Am I weary with my sighing? Every night I make my bed swim. I dissolve my couch with my tears. My eyes have wasted away with grief. It has become old because of all my adversaries. Depart from me, all you who do iniquity. For the Lord has heard the voice of my weeping. The Lord has heard my supplication. The Lord receives my prayer. All my enemies will be ashamed and greatly dismayed. They shall turn back. They will suddenly be ashamed. I continue. This is me. If times and situations are challenging, stay in close meditation with the Lord, because these too shall pass, and we will be made stronger because of them. And I continue on with Psalms chapter 30, verse 5. Weeping may last for the night, but a shout of joy comes in the morning. Have a blessed day. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We plant the seed. We do a little bit of watering. We let the good Lord do the growing. Share it with who you want. Don't cram it down anybody's throat. And for those of you who have your fingers in your ear, Bill, what should they do? Take your fingers out.
For those of you that are hard of hearing,
take your fingers out of your ear, crank up the volume. And
wash your hands.
I'll tell you, ladies and gentlemen, feel free if you want to share that and spread the wealth of those verses. Go ahead and do it. I'm not sure yet. We may post these devotionals on the Facebook page, so that if you do have people that you want to send it to, feel free to do so. I'd love to share it with as many as we can. Now, without further ado, Colonel, you got about 3 minutes before the first break, so get yourself set up, and then we'll continue on after the break to finish up. So it's all yours.
Okay, we're going to talk about voting, the constitutional amendment, the 24th Amendment, the right of citizens of the United States to vote in any primary or other election for the president or vice president, for electors for president or vice president, or for senator or representative to Congress, shall not be denied or abridged by reason of failure to pay a poll tax or other tax. Now let's go back in history. When the country was founded, voting was restricted to white property-owning males, and that was between 10 and 16% of the population. They wanted to be sure that everybody that was selecting the government had something in the fire, had something in the pot, okay? So they had a reason to be involved. And today, we need to remember in history that all republics have failed when over 50% of the populace was on the take on some kind of program from the government.
You know, you made a comment there, Colonel, and Bill Whitmire, Republican chair, always says this: get some skin in the game, tax, in other words, paying taxes, and you'll be making different rules when it comes to it. So if you got skin in the game, you'll be more interested and more knowledgeable as to what goes on. So I think that was just an interesting.
That was the idea originally, but now we've diluted this, and the United States today is very close to 50% of the people are on some kind of subsidy from the government.
That is extremely dangerous.
What? Wait. What percentage is on a subsidy from the government?
It's very close to 50%. So
when that happens,
they're not exactly, financial responsibility is not exactly being demonstrated, especially when the government dilutes our money supply by $2.2 trillion to pass it around.
Colonel, that is, I hate to interrupt you. We'll continue on. But that is a major fact that people need to know and understand. Why is it so detrimental that if we have more people on the government dole, so to speak, how dangerous that can be when it comes to elections? They're going to vote for people who give the benefits.
The old quote was, when the people find out they can vote themselves, the public treasury, the country goes away.
Well, it sure is working well for the House of Representatives and the Congress.
Colonel, you got 30 seconds. We'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll continue on. Go ahead. You want to finish up with something?
No, that's fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we keep interrupting the Colonel, but it's good stuff. So we're going to come back and we'll finish the other segment, continuing on with the Constitution. So give us a call at 866-89-LOGIC if you got a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed to have the Colonel on here, taking the time out of his day to read and do note-taking and studying of the documents here so that he can convey it to us and we can learn. I think it's fantastic. So I hope you're taking your notes down with all that he's saying.
And we pay him lots of money.
Lots of money.
Lots of money.
We'll be back in 3 minutes.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family-owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got 2 more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas, and our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
Art Coons, the owner of A&C Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to A&C Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. A&C Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Water is the absolute worst thing for your driveway. It seeps below the surface and erodes the base, which leads to cracks and uneven slabs of concrete. Call the Driveway Company. Our certified concrete specialists will lift, fill, and seal your driveway, keeping it beautiful for years to come and saving you thousands of dollars. Call today for a free inspection.
For the Driveway Company.
Call today at 293-SEAL, 293-SEAL.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host, June 10th, 2020. Got the Colonel Rayford Brown here talking the Constitution. If you want to be on the show, give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media is at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter, and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Colonel, airwaves are yours, sir.
All right, we're going to jump back into poll taxes and other taxes required in order to vote. And actually, at one point, these were a major source of revenue for the government. But the southern states enacted poll taxes of $1 or $2 per year, which today would be $30 to $60. And they did this during between 1889 and 1966 as a prerequisite to voting. Furthermore, many states had cumulative feature that required an individual to pay all previous year's poll taxes before he could vote in a current year. So you couldn't skip a couple. If you waited for 4 years between the general elections, that you'd have to pay 4 years of poll taxes in order to vote. So prior to the enactment of poll taxes, property ownership was frequently a prerequisite to voting. The tax resurfaced in the South to dilute the effect of race-neutral voting provision required in Southern state constitutions as a condition of readmission to the Union after the Civil War. Today, close to 50% of voters are on some kind of a government program, as we mentioned before there. Beginning in 1889, Southern states reintroduced the poll tax as a method of disenfranchising black voters. The tax was designed with a view to eliminate of every Negro voter who could be gotten rid of legally without materially impairing the numerical strength of the white electorate, end quote. Additionally, poll taxes had the effect of disenfranchising the poor in general, including whites. Later, it fell upon some women after the passage of the 19th Amendment. So the taxes really impacted a lot of people. Legislation to eliminate poll taxes in federal elections was introduced in every Congress beginning in 1939, but no bill made it into law. By the time the 24th Amendment's ratification in 1964, they had become notoriously symbols of black disenfranchisement, and that's the poll taxes we're talking about. During the debates, some members of Congress argued that because poll taxes were racially discriminatory, Congress should outlaw them by using the 14th or 15th Amendment. However, Congress decided to write the 24th Amendment because it also impacted and disenfranchised poor people. So the 14th and 15th were more racial, and that would not have protected the poor people and women. The amendment's supporters attacked the poll tax as a vehicle for fraud because tax facilitated political corruption through vote buying by political machines that had made block payments of the tax. Some states allowed third parties to pay an individual's poll tax. Nothing could go wrong here.
No, of course not.
That's like mail-out ballots when only half the population is on the rolls, over the population. We were able to pay the poll tax for other patrons. Okay, some bars, during the Prohibition era, the bars would pay the poll tax if you'd go vote against it. The drafters of the amendment carefully limited the scope of federal elections. 2 years after its ratification, the Supreme Court announced that the use of poll taxes as a prerequisite to voting in state elections violated the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. So originally, the poll tax restriction was only on federal elections, and if you could still have a poll tax for the governor and legislature. But they fixed that with the 14th Amendment. Recent attempts to extend the 24th Amendment to other contexts have failed. Federal courts have turned aside arguments that the amendment forbids reenfranchisement of felons contingent upon payment of child support or payment of past due fines or even a fee to cover the process of reinstatement of voting rights. Neither does voter identification laws constitute a poll tax. Voting disenfranchisement claims receive a better hearing from the courts under the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment.
Excellent. Colonel, that was perfect timing. I've got Raymond on the line. We're going to take a 3-minute break. When we get back, we're going to get Raymond on the line to see what he's got to say. If you got any questions, give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Give the Colonel a call. Ask him a question. There's so much information that we can just give out here. Not enough time in the day to do it. So if there's something specific, give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Be back in 3. Raymond, stand by.
Jeff Foxworthy here. Now, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing over and over for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's why I'm filling in for Smokey to switch things up, because there's a lot more to say. And I should know because my grandfather was a firefighter. And one of the things he taught me is that the people that love the outdoors the most are often the ones accidentally starting wildfires, which means always BYOB. No, bring your own bucket to the campfire. And be extra careful with things like burning yard trimmings. Don't just walk away, or chances are you might be starting a wildfire. So, for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here. It is June 10th, 2020. I've got Raymond on the line. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go right to Raymond. He's been waiting for a while. I don't want to keep him waiting too long. So, Raymond, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for calling. Thanks for listening. What's on your mind, buddy?
Yes, sir. I would like to ask the Colonel a question. First of all, good morning to you, Colonel.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. I was wanting to ask you, all through society, I don't know if it's the nature of the beast and the human race or whatever, but whenever there are riots, due to the fact of different issues that, that the people are angry about, why is there always looting, burning, maybe killing, fighting, and all this? Is this just the opportunities for the devil to come out and do his dirty deeds to society? If you notice this all over the world, any kind of riots, it's always the same repeat, rerun. And that's just a question that I have to ask you and see what you have to say about this. You have a good day, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Raymond. Appreciate the call. Thanks for the question.
And here is the answer. All men have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. And as he is correct, and it always seems that they burn down the homes and the places of the minority groups and things instead of the other way around. What benefit does it come from burning down black businesses in Minneapolis? How does this help George Floyd? What are they trying to accomplish? They're trying to accomplish getting everybody roused up so they can have a socialist revolution. And the Democratic Socialists of America are deeply involved with Black Lives Matter and other socialist organizations.
I'm not a genius by no means, far from it. But what I do a lot of the times is look in the mirror. And after screaming, seeing what I'm saying, I go, okay, what's the problem here? Whatever the problem may be, and I'm talking to myself, okay? I say, what's the problem? Oh, this bothered me. Is that really what bothered you? And then I think about it for a second. I go, no, well, actually, what caused me to have that reaction was this. Well, what caused that reaction? Well, to be honest with you, it was this. And I keep going backwards, and I find the core element. Ladies and gentlemen, I would highly recommend and suggest you do that on any situation that happens in this country. Why are they rioting? Go back, and you're going to see it's not George Floyd. These people are organized. Now, don't misunderstand me. There are people out there who truly are fighting for George Floyd, but they're being overrun and used.
Stalin called them useful idiots.
I totally do. It's the same thing with people who don't like guns. There's truly a certain amount of people out there who are afraid of guns. It's a genuine, sincere fear of the firearm. And I say two things. One, okay. And the other one is I can maybe help you with that, just to show you it's a tool. But I respect that. There are other people who use the fear and promote the fear to scare you even more. So they say they're afraid, but they're not afraid. They understand that fear will get an agenda. So whatever you do on every situation that we look at in this country, go back and say, what's the cause? What's the cause? What's the cause? And you're going to get back and go back far enough, and you're going to find out it always ends up being the same freaking people, the same organizations, the same agenda, the same concept idea. And you can't get around it, but you got to take the time to look at it and study it. Colonel, am I crazy? Would that make sense?
No, it makes perfect sense. And if we look at arms control, we can go back into the Roman times, the times of Christ, for example, and a short sword was a short steel-bladed sword was the AR-15 or M4 of the day, and Romans were very careful to control who could have a sword or who could have a chariot. The chariot was the tank or MRAP.
They all want to keep you under control because, there's a great movie, a scene in a movie, A Bug's Life. And I'm sure everybody knows this. The grasshoppers are in control. And they're making comments about the ants. These puny little ants. And they can't do nothing to us. So the king leader of the grasshoppers gets a grain. He goes to the grain bin and picks up a grain of wheat and throws it at the grasshopper. And he goes, did that hurt? No, it didn't hurt. Then he throws a couple more. Then he flips the switch and the whole entire load of wheat drops on this guy. And he says, the ants outnumber us 10-1. If they ever find out what we're doing, they'll take us over like nothing's happening here. So it's the same thing with us. The people in control are few. We are the many. And if we ever found out the truth, and that's what we're trying to do, they would be overrun so freaking quick, and we get this place back to normal. We're going to take a break, top of the hour break. We'll be back with Troopers Morgan and Washko. Let's talk traffic. Get your questions ready. Be back in 5 to 6. See you on the other side.
To some people, the sound of a baby babbling doesn't mean much. But that's not necessarily true. By 6 months, they're combining vowels and consonants. By 9 months, they're trying out different kinds of sounds. And by 12 months, their babbling is beginning to take on some meaning. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Early screening and intervention can make a lifetime of difference and unlock a world of possibilities. Take the first step at autismspeaks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Who, me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Seems to care. You can't find the door.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Yeah, welcome everybody to Logic Nation. Welcome back. It is June 10th, 2020. Matt, your host here. I got Bill Huffman, executive producer, the Colonel Rayford Brown, and I've got troopers Morgan and Washko in talking traffic. Now, gentlemen, let me tell you something. We've been getting rave reviews, and I felt it necessary to give you proper introduction. Okay? So I want you to...
What kind of reviews?
Rave reviews.
What does that mean?
That means really
Put
good
some
reviews.
sunglasses on, or what? We got the glow sticks.
All right, now listen, I got something set up for you special here, okay? So just be quiet. Let me set you up.
Hey,
You're
my
right.
mom may be listening, so be careful.
Okay, here we go. I hope this works. All right, here we go. Now, here to serve the public and secure the state, your two favorite highway patrolmen, troopers Morgan and Washko. Welcome, gentlemen.
No, more like Ponch and John on chips.
There you go, guys.
I should start growing my hair out and take this hat off.
Well, welcome to the program. It's always a pleasure to have you on. Tons of questions. I'm sure you got lots of information, and I know you got something specific you want to get out there, so let me kill this music here. But there was your intro, and I hope you liked it.
Loved it.
Okay. Talk to us, guys. Let's get it out of the way first. You got to having a hassle with the driver's licenses?
Well, it's of course by appointment now. We're doing something different because of the pandemic. So Jimmy has some information on the Bryan office. He's kind of done some research on how that things are going down there.
Yeah, because there's go ahead,
Basically,
Jimmy.
what I did, I went and visited with some of our clerks there to see how things were going. And obviously, the couple things you got to remember is that, the social distancing and how many people we can see in a day is limited because we're not at full capacity. We can't be because we have to be able to keep people separated distance-wise, 6 foot apart. So it's like taking half of what we normally could process at our offices. And then, so you finally get your appointment and you show up, and we're having an issue where, look, you're going to have to do your homework. You're going to have to figure out, okay, if I'm first-time licensed, trying to go in to get a license here in the state of Texas, you got to know that you need a birth certificate, passport, social security card, 2 forms of residential that shows where you live and stuff at. These are must items. If you have some documentation of that, you don't know whether to bring it or not, bring it. Because I know there's people that's probably had that and they left it sitting on the table, whatever. So any kind of documentation like that, and these documentations are actually listed on our DPS website, the driver license, as far as what documents to bring. Make sure when you make your appointment and you come in, make sure you have these documents. On facial covers, they prefer you to have them on. We have some extras that we may be able to provide if you forgot yours. Our civilians running the driver license, certainly they'll check your temperature, and they will also practice the CDC guidelines as far as interacting with the public. So again, it's until we get totally over this, we're going to not be. We're already processing like new driver license applicants and CDL and stuff. So if you're that person out there that's got an expired driver license, it's been expired for a month or two, and I know everybody's concerned about that. Always remind yourself that the governor has not lifted the ban from and declared COVID-19 over with. And then the date that he does that, then you're going to have 60 original days after he does.
That's a big bit of information. Yeah.
Now the part to think about is this: as the farther we go with this COVID-19, right? Think about this: does the lines or the people we talk about get smaller or they get bigger?
I'm going to guess they get bigger.
They get bigger. So as we go through this, there's going to be more and more people not able to renew their driver license that are going to be added to that list as we go through the month.
I would assume, Trooper, that they would make exceptions that you could do something online and bypass all this.
Typically you can renew online. Your one time. Remember, it's the one time deal. You can renew online. So if you hadn't wore that item out, you can still do that. Now, if that person where you've done that already, then you're going to have to come back in person to renew your driver.
Well, that's what I meant. Maybe they'd make an exception to that because of the overloaded lines and stuff.
So it's a valid point. That's what I'm trying to say. So when this thing is considered over based on what the numbers we're looking at, there may be some adjustments, I feel, made to accommodate to figure out how we're going to handle that. So we're certainly not out of the woods yet. The Department of Public Safety understands everybody's concerns. We're trying to do the best we can based on the guidelines that were given. So anyway, be patient out there and make sure you bring your documentation.
Gentlemen, I've got a call already. Got a question for you guys. Let me get Raymond on the line. Raymond, appreciate the call again. Thanks for listening. What's on your mind, buddy?
Yes, sir. Good morning to you, troopers. I have a friend that asked me a question, and I didn't know how to answer it, so therefore I'm going to ask y'all this question so when I see him again, I can give him the proper answer to what he asked me. He does not have a concealed handgun license. He wants to carry his weapon in his vehicle. And I said, well, maybe if you carry your gun in your glove box and your ammunition in another part of the car, maybe that might be legal, but I'm not for sure. Just out of due respect to any law enforcement that pulls you over, I think he or she or whatever should say, sir, I do have a weapon in my vehicle just out of respect for the law enforcement, but I do not have a concealed handgun license. Does he go to jail? Does he get in trouble? But at least he did notify the officer that he did not have a concealed handgun license, but he has his weapons in his vehicle. Thank you for your time, sir. You have a good day.
Thank you, Raymond. Appreciate that. There's going to be two views here. I've definitely got one, and I'm sure the troopers have another, so I'll let the troopers go. Go ahead.
Well, if the law states as long as it's not, if you do not have a LTC, you can't just have your gun out and about. You have to have it concealed in a glove box or in a console. So, but yeah, as a courtesy, it'd be great to let us know if you get stopped or any officer stops you, to let him or her know that you are carrying a pistol or in the vehicle as a courtesy.
I just want to make it clear, though, this is not being resistant. This is just being knowledgeable. If I'm licensed to carry, I have a responsibility to tell you. If I'm not licensed to carry, I technically don't have to tell you. That's where the courtesy part comes into it. And the definite thing you need to do is have it concealed. And I say this only for one reason, and that is knowledge. You make the decision. You don't get weird with law enforcement. Be very respectful, because I'm sure they want to be respectful to you as well. But the point is, I want to make sure it's clear what it is so you can make the proper decision as to what you want to do. I do not like when people are ignorant and are guided by somebody who is ignorant, and then here we have this distortion of what the law is. If you're licensed to carry, you're required. If you're not licensed to carry, you're not. However, it's a nice courtesy to give law enforcement. We're going to take a break, be back. We'll continue on. See you in 3 minutes. 866-89-LOGIC. Be back in a few. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Betros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free, and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Here's a question from Smith Supply. Who do you turn to for guidance when it comes to cleaning, disinfecting, or pool maintenance? From janitorial supplies, paper goods, and pool life pool supplies, at Smith Supply, we deliver what others promise. At a time when just about anyone can offer you a good deal, Smith Supply is where you'll find the best answers and customer service. We're located at 5202 Midway Drive behind Garland Shelton Pre-Owned Center in Temple. Smith Supply has everything to clean anything.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here. It is June 10th, 2020. I've got Troopers Morgan and Washko with us. Give us a call at 866-89-LOGIC. Anything you wanted to know about being on the highway or the roads or other stuff, too, now's the time to give us a call and get the answers straight from Troopers Washko and Morgan. And 866-89-LOGIC is the number. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social medias at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio. Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. I'll tell you what, gentlemen, let's start right off the bat since I mentioned it. There's a lot of people out there, and the reason I know this is because they order a certain product from me. There's a lot of people out there with AR pistols or AK pistols or some type of pistol form of a common rifle. And let's be clear, a rifle must have a minimum of 16 inches with an overall length of 26 and a quarter inches, something like that. Shotgun has to have an 18-inch barrel. It can have a pistol grip on it, all this kind of stuff. But an AR pistol is something underneath the 16-inch barrel. It can have a arm brace on it, but it'll look just like a short barrel rifle. So people can get confused and think, well, it's not a short barrel rifle, so I can carry it like a rifle, but it's a pistol.
What does the box say on it when you bought it?
Pistol.
Thank you. You can buy a pistol and you can add anything on it. It's still a pistol.
It's still a
It's
pistol.
kind of like a golf cart. People ask me, well, I did this, I did that. At the end of the day, you still got a golf cart. You may have it jacked up and 4 big tires on it. At the end of the day, it's still a golf cart.
So what I'm trying to get at is this. If you have a pistol, an AR pistol or an AK pistol, it's got to be, if you're a licensed to carry, secured in a shoulder rig or a holster on the hip, which I have one of. It's called the Harp. Check it out, aaronsgunshop.com. Go to the product page. Okay. Just be careful. It's not a short barrel rifle. It's not a rifle. It's a pistol. So if you don't have a license, it must be concealed. If you have a license, it must be on or about your person in a holster, shoulder holster, or hip holster. Okay. Gentlemen, where do we want to go from here? Because you know me, I've always got questions. Got anything else you want to
Well, let's talk about our highways for a little bit. So far as our update on our highways, on our traffic fatalities and stuff, obviously, that's a big concern of ours. That's kind of our bread and butter as troopers. The TxDOT website is still not current on their website. It was down for about 2 weeks. So the data on that, I'm certainly waiting to see that, to see what them. I was hoping to get the 2019 data back to where we can sit and look at how we were as a state and what were our contributing factors. A lot of information comes out in that report, but even now their website is down as far as the number of fatalities that we've had in the state. I would guess anywhere from 15 to 1,600.
It's got to be.
Yeah, well, we average anywhere from 35 to 37 a year. We had a decent year last year. In saying that, I can't tell you what that final number is, other than as a nation, we were down to about 38,000 fatalities as a nation, down from about 40,000 a year. So
we need to lock down this country until we figure out what the problem is with these 38,000 deaths. This is ridiculous. This is crazy. This is a pandemic.
It's drivers. But you know what? Don't worry about it, Trooper, because LAPD is picking up our slack. Los Angeles reports a 250% increase in homicides from last week.
Yeah, we're talking traffic versus y'all.
I'm sorry,
y'all gotta
Trooper
learn-
Morgan,
y'all
go
gotta learn
ahead.
How to separate.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Traffic safety. All right.
All right, okay.
So on the other part, that's where you want me to get the Texas Rangers in here, I can do that. Okay. So anyway, that'd be a different story. So.
We could just have a boring conversation and I know we're having fun. Okay.
Well, so I just kind of want to point that out. So as summer approaches, and if you've been anywhere along the lakes or the beaches, you realize everybody's out and about now, and so we just remind people to be careful. I think Brian was even saying yesterday. I always say this: you got to have a plan to get to the lakes and stuff where you're going, but also have a plan on your return. If you've been drinking or anything like that, make sure you have a designated driver or stay where you're at. Do not be getting in the vehicle when you're impaired or a boat. So the game wardens.
What about a bicycle?
Well, you can be PI on a bicycle.
Not DWI, but public intoxication. Yeah. Danger to yourself or others. If you're out there on a bicycle.
If
on
it's
the road,
motorized like a golf cart, all-terrain vehicle, something like that, that's DWI. So there's different vehicles out there. So
what about if you're walking?
PI.
PI.
Yeah.
But you know what? That's not rocket science. Anybody that knows how to operate their internet machine can go on there and say, hey, I weigh 190 pounds. How much can I safely drink? And it says, well, you can have 3 beers every so many hours. And then you go, okay, well, then just to be safe, if I have more than 2, Mama's driving. That's what I do. Mm-hmm. I'm a concealed carrier. There's no way I'm going to be involved in an altercation and then have them say, well, you know, he did have a blood alcohol level at the time. And of course, not mention it because it was like 0.0004.
You know, he brought up a point. I got a question, troopers. If you're licensed to carry, or if you're a homeowner in general, and you're having a party, and there's alcohol in the party, what does that do for self-defense when it comes to the need to use it, and you're impaired on your property having a party, but you still got to defend your home and your property, your family? How does that come into play?
I guess it's going to ultimately be up to a jury to decide if your culpable mental state was proper, or if you were, if you're having a few beers and somebody jumps a fence and starts attacking your friends or your family and with a deadly weapon, and you feel you need to use deadly force, well, I mean, what do? You just don't sit there just because you had a few beers. You do what you feel.
Always
you need
remember
to do.
this: anything you do as a citizen or me as a peace officer, you have to be able to articulate what you're doing at the time you're doing it. If you can't articulate it, then you got a problem.
Yeah, there's many a times somebody can articulate when they have 2 or 3 beers in them. It may not be legal
that's
according
when
to
that's
state.
going to come into play if the average person at a jury is sitting there listening to everything and putting theirself in your position and figure out if that's what they would have done in that. So good luck with that.
Yeah, that's what I say all the time in my classes. I say, listen, you're going to have 12 people who you've never seen before making a decision in 6 to 12 months based on your half-second decision. So you better make sure you're right.
Yeah, it depends on the party. Do you have more than 10 there? Because then you're violating the city of policy.
Man, really?
Had to throw it out there.
That's no party. It's a protest.
Well, then you can have 100. So
Okay.
Protest at your house.
Gentlemen, I got a question about fuel trucks. Bill brought it up here where fuel trucks fall under a different category due to the fact that you could turn it into a mobile bomb. Any information on that?
It was my understanding that was Homeland Security statute where they actually stepped in and modified that.
You know, I guess after Timothy McVeigh's fertilizer bomb that he planted in front of the courthouse in Oklahoma City, you know, that I guess they started looking at devices that can carry a large accelerant like gasoline. How many gallons does a tanker hold? I mean, thousands of, yeah. So you can imagine what they could do with that. So I know I'm not big on the federal regulations on trucking, but I know they've probably, I need to talk to a truck driver who hauls gas.
Well, it's
And
a
the
separate license. You got to be certified in that. There's separate testing on that. You got that's one of the endorsements that you would have on a driver license on your CDL. So there's training involved in getting that.
And they have to be placarded.
Yeah, I mean, you can turn anything in either to a weapon. You know, it depends how you use it, what you considered at the time.
Yeah, you could take that diesel fuel tank, the auxiliary tank in the back of your truck. You know, somebody could construe that and make something an explosive device. But you know, a large vehicle like the 18-wheelers hauling gasoline, you know, they are placarded. They have to have what item they're carrying, and you know, like Jimmy said, their endorsement on their driver's license shows.
You know, fellas, one thing that I've learned, I've been a hazmat guy for 20 years. And one of the things that I have learned is the federal regulations about how you handle hazardous substances are quite often not well thought out.
Can't stop anybody.
On a railroad train, you can only have so many fuel cars in a line, end to end. You can only have so many liquid oxygen cars, end to end. But if you break them up and go fuel, liquid oxygen, fuel, liquid oxygen, fuel, now you're legal.
Yeah.
My God, I think I'd rather have all the fuel cars together.
And then when it crashes, they're all mixed up.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God forbid.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, we're going to be taking a break. We've got a call on the line. When we come back, we'll take the call. You got a question, comment, give us a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media at Facebook at Logic Nation Radio, YouTube and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Richard, stay on the line. We'll be back in 3. We'll get you on. Stay on there.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay.
Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Welcome back to the program, Logic Nation, June 10th, 2020. Matt, your host here. I got Bill Huffman, executive producer. I got Colonel Rayford Brown, Troopers Morgan and Washko with me. You, the listening audience, I got Richard on the line. Richard, stand by 1 second. If you want to be on the show, give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media is at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter, and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Richard's been on a while. Let me get him on the air. Gentlemen, we got a question for you, and I've got Richard on the line. I appreciate you listening. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind, Richard?
Hey, good morning, guys. I have a comment and a question. My first comment is the troopers do a hell of a job, and, it's dangerous out there. I think they deserve something better than 80s porn music as their intro.
It was 70s.
Hey man, I'm doing it on the fly, man.
This burns on our heart. We are going through different. We searched like cop music, and everything I heard, I said, "Matt, that sounds like a porno."
But that was Chips. I grew up on Chips.
What is the corollary between cops and porno? That's what I want to know.
It's the handcuffs, man.
I've never seen what the troopers look like, but I picture they had like the mustache, overgrown, and they, had a band that said "Free Candy" and stuff. It was sad.
Hold on, Richard. Trooper Morgan, I could be just another radio host that goes, "Hello, Trooper Morgan. I'm glad you're here today. Can you please tell us about traffic laws?" Or I could be, "Hey, we're having a damn good time here."
I still have my job over
Okay, my
All right, Richard, go ahead, buddy.
My question for the troopers. I'm a big football fan, and I noticed troopers, especially at Texas A&M and other colleges, they're on the field for the games and escort the coaches and for security. Do you guys get to put in requests for games, or are you just assigned?
No, that's an off-duty assignment. They get paid to do that on their off time. So
Yeah, but I mean, if I was a trooper, I would be requesting every A&M game I could.
yeah, I've worked a couple games. I used to work for the Dallas Cowboys and Texas Rangers up in Arlington off duty, and it has its perks. But yeah, it's something that the troopers do on their time off. When they're not, it's their day off. They don't have to be any patrol responsibilities. So
There's no conflict of work duties.
no, we have a policy on what you can and can't do off duty. Certain jobs, we have a strict policy that doesn't. It's not a conflict of interest, and of course, that's not one of them. So that's one of the perks of the job.
There was
Okay,
one.
I'm just
What was,
curious how you guys got that. But yeah, you guys do a great job, and you got to change the music for them, man.
I'll see what I can do, Richard. Okay.
I like it.
Have a good one.
All right, man. Take it easy. Bye bye. All right. Well, I'm sorry, gentlemen. Sorry about the
No,
music, but I did it in about what did we do, Bill? About 3 minutes. We figured that out.
Yeah.
Trying to make it nice, and you get criticized, but whatever. All right. There was a college that said no more troopers allowed on campus. I forget which college that was. Do you recall anybody? Do you see the article? This is getting ridiculous with
No
law
more
enforcement.
what on campus?
They want no more cops or troopers on campus.
But there's a difference. So what is it?
I'm pretty sure it was troopers.
Okay.
I don't recall.
know,
I was hoping that you guys would have heard
Was
it.
it Texas?
It wasn't Texas.
No, it wasn't Texas.
Okay.
It's just the craziness of people hating cops. It's just ridiculous. They're gonna the ones who hate the cops will be the first ones who call the cops saying, "Oh my God, something's happened." 911. There's no cops. What's the matter with you people?
There was a statement last night I saw in the news. Probably one of the best statements that come out of what we're going through right now. The statement was, "There's no person that hates a bad cop more than a good cop."
Yeah, because it makes you look bad.
Because they don't separate. Look, when things like this happen throughout our country, they don't separate agencies. Everybody is together as a family, which is fine. But so it does matter to us, and it starts out to your local level versus your county level and your state. That's why you all have to be on the same page. I can't control what happens in another state, but I have a little bit of influence what happens here in the state of Texas. And working with law enforcement, make sure all the training, and that's why there's T-code requirements that everybody forgets about. Our law enforcement, I know our troopers have been through de-escalation. They've been through fair and partial policing. They've been through other citizens' interactions. So there's training that troopers, and I would thank all officers here in the state because they all have a T-code license, that they had the requirements that they got to meet. So the training's there far as this type of interaction. But, it's sadly say there's like 800,000 peace officers in the state, in the United States. And if you interact with the public, you take that per day, we're talking millions, right? So with that much interaction with citizens, sooner or later, something's not going to go the way you wanted it to go. And we pay the price for it. There's
But
no doubt.
thank you for the media to promote that one instance or few instances that it happens. Look, like you said, if you got a rogue cop, you need to take care of this cop. Okay? We all agree on that. But the majority of officers are good to go. They do it on their own free will. They're willing to serve the public. So we need to take that into consideration as well. But, the media out there has got an agenda that's conquer and divide. That's me speaking, nobody else. Now, I'll tell you what, troopers, we're running out of time. I wanted to throw out another question. I got a bunch of questions here. Before the break, I'll throw out a question. We'll come back and maybe you can give us an answer. Okay. One of them is, how many trailers can I pull at once? And what's the complete length of those trailers that's legal? Be back in 3 minutes. 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. See you on the other side.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family-owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got 2 more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas, and our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
Art Coons, the owner of A&C Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to A&C Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. A&C Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Water is the absolute worst thing for your driveway. It seeps below the surface and erodes the base, which leads to cracks and uneven slabs of concrete. Call the Driveway Company. Our certified concrete specialists will lift, fill, and seal your driveway, keeping it beautiful for years to come and saving you thousands of dollars. Call today for a free inspection.
The Driveway Company.
Call today at 293-SEAL, 293-SEAL.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here. It's June 10th, 2020. I've got Troopers Morgan and Washko with me. I've got Bill Huffman, executive producer, the Colonel Rayford Brown. You, the listening audience, give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, if you got a question for the Troopers, and 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social medias at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio, Twitter, and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Now, before the break, I had presented a question to the Troopers, and I think it was a super easy question based on their facial expressions. I guess this is a common problem, common question. Let me reiterate the question. The question was, how many trailers can I pull at once, and what is the overall length that I'm allowed to pull?
Man, you just put out some meat. I'm going to put some gravy on this thing.
All right, go ahead.
Okay? So a lot of people ask me all the time about this kind of stuff. So one of the things you always have to remember when you're pulling trailers, when people ask me about trailer questions, the first thing I ask people, well, what are you doing with the trailer? Are we classifying as a farm trailer or just a trailer going down the road? And that comes into play on your CDL and registration and inspection if requirement. So when we talk about coupling trailers, on a regular pickup truck, GVW, the empty weight of a pickup truck is 2,000 pounds or heavier. Most trucks, like my truck, I think, probably 9,000 pounds empty weight. So with that vehicle, it allows me to pull 2 trailers, okay? The overall length on that combination is 65 feet, okay? Now, What is the overall length on a truck tractor semi-trailer going down the highway?
I think the actual trailer itself could be up to 53 feet, couldn't it?
No.
The trailer part itself? Because I see the numbers on the side
You
there
see
sometimes.
53. Why is that?
That's the length of the trailer?
Yeah.
Or
Why
that's,
do they got 53?
I'm not sure. You're confusing me, so I don't know.
Okay, I'm not confusing you. I'm educating you. Okay.
Damn, Jimmy, come on.
So there's some states where it's 53 feet. So that I have that here in Texas.
Oh, so what does that mean? What's the? All right, okay, all right.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
So in Texas, you're allowed to have a 59-foot trailer. There is no overall length on a truck tractor semi-trailer. The length limitation is based on your trailer 59 feet. Reason you see 53 feet a lot on the side of these trailers, the other states that they come through have a 53-foot limitation. So if I know I have to go through these other states, I can't afford to pull that 59-foot trailer because then I would be over length in some of the other states that I'll travel through. So the common number that you normally see on going down the roadway is the 53-foot trailer that's out there. Does that make any sense?
It did make sense. Yes, it did, sir.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so we're talking 18 wheelers. We got UPS trucks pulling two. Somebody just told me they were pulling 3 trailers.
Okay, and here's another important thing. People wonder, well, what is he talking about, truck and truck tractor? What's the difference? A truck tractor is meant to only have the weight of the trailer on that truck. It has no room for any kind of, it's not no flat surface or anything to put and store and load things on that. It's simply to pull a trailer. That's what it's a fifth wheel or a gooseneck. You can take a pickup truck, take the bed off, and put a fifth wheel, and you see this every now and then. In Cameron, America, you'll see it, and you wonder, why would they do that? Well, they just took a pickup truck and turned it into a truck tractor because once they take the bed off, all they got is the gooseneck hookup and the fifth wheel. Now, what he's trying to do is pull that extra long cattle trailer going down the road.
And I've seen that, so now that makes sense now.
So you can take a pickup truck and turn it into a truck tractor. So a pickup, in other words, you ever see these big fancy horse trailers going down the road, and they'll have a double cab Freightliner, and then on the back it's got a flatbed. It's got maybe some places for hay and all that. That's a truck. That's not a truck tractor because the flat surface allows them to store things. So you got to really pay attention to what you're hooking up and make sure you know the definition.
Jimmy, Trooper Morgan, why is there so many different rules? And it seems like it's so close to each other. What makes
guys like me can get paid?
I guess the roadways, you got to have a shorter trailer. If you're going through West Virginia where it's curving through the hills, and, you can't get too lengthy, I guess. That's my interpretation of it. But
so I stopped a gentleman one time. It was a truck and 3 hay trailers. This happened outside of Cameron. His footage was somewhere in the 90-foot range. So he was over length by like 30-something foot. So he had to drop a trailer. So, again, reason they have these length limitations is whatever you're pulling down the highway, you've got to be able to control it. If somebody pulls out in front of you or you got braking, whatever, and you get too long with these stuff and overload it and all that, then you're not going to be able to control your vehicle safely on the roadway.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a break. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Give us a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. The reason I brought the question originally was I had a jet ski business on Lake Travis, and I would pull 3 trailers full of wave runners, and that's why I brought up the question. Be back in 3.
All right, everybody in the car, let's go.
What are we gonna do first when we get there, Mom? Go for a hike?
Sure, if you want.
What about canoeing? Can we go canoeing too?
I don't see why.
What about a bike ride? No, I want to fish.
Okay.
I've never been fishing.
Honey, we can do it all.
How long does it take to get to the forest?
It's not.
Is it gonna be long?
No, sweetie.
I bet it takes forever.
It's not that far.
Are we there yet?
Yep, we're here.
Already? No way. Come on.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a neighborhood park or green space near you. Also, find fun activities to do like boating and biking or camping and hiking, plus much more. It's all right in your naturehood. A public service announcement brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
not completing high school is more of a social thing than it was an academic thing. I came out in the 11th grade. Nobody was embracing you. The kids were cruel. It was very difficult to be gay. Even though all these years have passed, I still had that longing to have my diploma. The hard part was determining that I was going to do it, but I definitely didn't do it alone.
At age 30, with the help of her mentor, Carissa finished her high school diploma.
I have a mentor, Maria. She convinced me to continue my education and to finish what I started to get my diploma. Just never judges. She's a true role model. If you're even considering getting your high school diploma, go get it. You can do it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Some knowledge belongs to us and us alone. The way our girlfriends walk, the way they talk, the way they touch their hair. We hold details that only a sister can know about her girls. But what about our other girls? The ones that we carry with us every day. Can we describe them when everything's right? Can we feel when something's wrong? Our bond with our sister girls gives life. But knowing your breasts can save it. Go to knowyourgirls.org for the facts you need on breast health. That's knowyourgirls.org. Brought to you by Susan G. Coleman and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here, and I think I got him stumped. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. I got Troopers Morgan and Washko with me, and we were talking traffic. Presented a question, and it raised some feathers. So let's talk about this.
Is this East Texas?
Is this no,
You'll see this in East Texas.
Well, we'll talk about it. Hold on. If you want to give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Here is the question. Troopers Morgan and Washko. The question is it legal to drive in reverse while still going in the proper direction with the flow of traffic?
I would say no.
Speak up, though.
I would say no because the lighting on the vehicle would be in reverse as far as your braking and stuff. People wouldn't be able to see your brake lights and all that stuff.
What if you had the magnetic ones on your car?
The magnetic one. What about your headlights? You got magnetic on
It's
that?
daylight. I don't need them.
I would say overall the answer is no. There's that specific question is not directly covered in the transportation code. The part that they do say, now they're talking about operating a vehicle in an unsafe manner, and that is. And I would say that would fall under that. And there's also a section in there that talks about driving on an improved shoulder. You cannot be driving on an improved shoulder backwards. So I would say it would be an unsafe operation where that would follow under. So the answer to that would be no.
Okay. But I got you.
But you made me think, which is good.
That's good. That's what I want.
That and a cup of coffee, that's good. It's good.
All right. So let's get this straight. If you're going northbound, but your vehicle is in reverse and it's daylight, you don't need your headlights, and you've got magnetic brake lights put in the proper place so people can see.
We don't do good seeing at the back of our head.
Well, we turned around. Look, I've done tactical training. I can drive a vehicle backwards very fast. Okay. It's not that difficult once you get a little training. So I was just wondering how that worked. Plus,
it's unsafe operation.
All right, yes, sir. Unsafe operation. Well, with that, since you squashed that real quick, let me give you another question. I'll tell you what, I'll pose you some questions and you pick what you want. I got cell phone laws while driving, micro litter, or just plain litter from a truck blowing out of the back of the truck, which happened to me on the way in today.
Mm-hmm.
Flagging protrusions such as poles and lumber sticking out of the back of the truck. Mm-hmm. And I already mentioned that one. So what do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the litter, and I'll let Brian pick out what his subject is. So this is what I see down our highway. You ever notice that we spend about $35 million a year, TxDOT does, in paying people to go out and pick up litter from our highways? That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but thank goodness, because it's really pretty out there.
Well, we take that $35 million and do something else, maybe build a road with that, don't you think?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I don't get people. You
They're
go out,
slobs,
get
Jimmy. They're
this time of
slobs.
year, you go out, you get your bag of ice, or the farmer that gets his bag of feed and stuff. A lot of them guys drive a flatbed truck. They've got a gooseneck on for the trailer and stuff, and they put stuff like it's just going to stay on the back of their truck. And when they get out, it's not there. I wonder what happened to it. Any person who know that cups, aluminum cans, all that are not going to stay. And so it doesn't actually address this, but I would love to file on somebody, take it to court, and let's see what a jury would say, because I would argue the point that any prudent person would know that they did this, that was going to blow out the back of the truck. So there's no difference in that. They're just as negligent that than they were if they just threw it out their cab of their window on the pickup truck.
What's even worse, though, Trooper, is that on the county roads, one of them being mined, people decide they can throw their old tire or their bag of garbage. You can see it at a certain time of the week.
Be a trooper
or the
and see
month.
what shows up in your front yard.
Say again?
I said be a trooper and see what shows up in your front yard.
Clarify the
You
statement.
know where I live at.
Yeah, I know where you live at. Are you saying it just because of where you're at, or are you saying it because you're a trooper?
Donations.
Are you saying that
Not throwing money.
That ain't money either.
No way. I want to be clear. Are you saying that because you're a trooper, you're getting trash thrown at you, or just because of the location where you're at?
Both.
Interesting.
You think people, because they pull off the side of the road, take that break because it's the first turn off, and they just kind of empty their trash out?
I had a ram shot in the head one time.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
That is interesting. There could be multiple reasons, but when you add them all up, it doesn't look good for you. You could have slob hunters out there shooting signs, shooting animals, all that kind of stuff. But when you add it to location and ownership, it kind of adds things up. All right, we're going to take a top of the hour break. We'll hold you over just a little bit, see what happens, and give us a call, 866-89-LOGIC. Troopers Morgan and Washko with us. Take advantage of them, ask them questions. 866-89-LOGIC. Be back in 5 to 6. See you on the other side.
Hey, y'all, Jeff Foxworthy here. Now, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing over and over for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's why I'm filling in for Smokey to switch things up, because there's a lot more to say. And I should know because my grandfather was a firefighter. And one of the things he taught me is that the people that love the outdoors the most are often the ones accidentally starting wildfires, which means always BYOB. No, bring your own bucket to the campfire. And be extra careful with things like burning yard trimmings. Don't just walk away, or chances are you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and catch the bus. Text and miss your stop. Wait. Text and be late to work. Sorry, I'm late. Text and work. Text and pretend to work. Text and act surprised when someone calls you out for not working.
Me?
Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Smoke is You were strolling along in goodwill when just past that mid-century side table and denim jacket you spotted them, nestled in their display case. Miniature donut earrings. Oh, yes! Yes! Your favorite half-breakfast pastry, half-all-day dessert food, made into your favorite form of ear candy. Oh my. Those bejeweled sprinkles have satisfied some unknown hunger within you. Shh, do you smell that? That's the sugary scent of shopping success. For this is Goodwill. And with every item you buy, you fund local job training and more. So go forth. Bring home those donut earrings. And bring home so much good to your community. Goodwill. Bring good home. Brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation, June 10th, 2020. Matt, your host here. I got Troopers Morgan and Washko with me, the Colonel Rayford Brown, executive producer Bill Huffman, and the Titan of Tech, Shane Currington's in the backdrop. Shane, come on in when you get a chance. Now, listen, we're going to finish up this segment with the Troopers. We got a great conversation going on. This is great information for the public to know. And Trooper Morgan's got some information more on driving backwards. And Trooper, the reason I brought that up was I was thinking about Burt Reynolds. I was looking up quotes, and I came up Burt Reynolds, and I forget what it was, Smoking the Bandit, maybe, where he turns his Trans Am backwards and gets a six-pack.
He's the best pursuee I ever pursued. Yeah, that guy? Yeah, okay.
All right, go ahead.
So now I always tell people, look, I read things sometimes, but I'll store it. So back to your question, if you go to Section 545 of the Transportation Code, just to make sure I just didn't make this up. It says the operator may not back the vehicle unless the movement can be made safely. Did I not say that?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And without interference with other traffic.
Well, what if the move
Hang on. Section B, a operator may not back the vehicle unless on a shoulder or a roadway on limited access or controlled access. Did I not say that?
Yeah.
You did, but the key word is safely.
Okay.
What if the individual turned the vehicle in a safe manner, proceeded in the same direction, and had the magnetic taillights? It was good
I
to go.
think each officer is going, depending if you're out in the sticks.
Well,
on
he'll
the
be arrested for DWI.
If you're out in
I'm
the
sure.
sticks on the FM road in West Texas, right, that officer may view your vehicle being operated safely, where if you did out of here 190, right?
I'm poking the bear.
Okay.
Jimmy.
Yeah. So anyway, one you may end up with a breathalyzer test. That's correct.
Well, there is that world record at the Guinness. I remember seeing the article. A guy drove in reverse for well over 1,000 miles. I mean, of course, he probably had escort vehicles to make it safely.
It's not that hard if you know the concept.
Yeah.
You guys do it all the time. I mean, and
Execute
that's no
the J
insult.
turns,
J turns, 180, whole works.
But
okay.
Interesting.
Okay, you're asking about flags and stuff. What was your question about flags?
Well, I got a few here. Since we're going to finish up the segment, we can probably hit a couple different ones. Since you brought it up, I was saying flagging protrusions such as poles and lumber. And the reason I bring that up is I remember there was an incident one time where a pole wasn't flagged. The driver came in and it actually speared them right through the chest. He was impaled into the seat. Fortunately, he lived. Right. And I was just curious as the proper manner to flag.
One of the best misconceptions out there is people that put stuff in the back of the truck. So you got a building project. You show up at lumber store and stuff, and then you want to know whether you're legal going down the roadway. Always remember this: when you load a vehicle, you get 3 foot to the front of your vehicle, you get 4 foot to the rear, and you get 3 inches to the left, 6 inches to the right.
I did not know that. Say it again, Trooper. Say it again. The distance: 3 in the front, 4 in the back.
3 inches to the left, which would be the driver's side, 6 inches on the passenger side.
I didn't know you had a specific length. Go ahead.
Okay, so now when people knowing that, they got that 16-foot piece of 2x6 hanging out the back of the truck, so they're over the 4 foot. So people see red flag and they're thinking, well, if I put a red flag on it, it makes me legal. Look, anything over 4 foot, you're required to have a permit. And once you get the permit's going to require you to have the flag on the back. So what I'm saying is, just because you put a flag on your load that's over 4 foot hanging out the back does not make the load legal.
So depending on the length of your vehicle, technically,
we're talking load now.
Well, wait, let me.
Vehicle and load's two different stories.
All right, let me just make this question here. Let me finish it out. You'll understand where I'm going at. If you got a 16-foot length of board and you got a certain length of vehicle,
right?
You can overhang it on the front and the back as long as it's
typically
within 16 foot.
What's the length of a normal? I mean, you got long, extended.
Sometimes you got 20
foot.
foot.
Say 8 foot. So if we were
bed.
saying 8-foot bed, right? If you got an 8-foot bed and you got a 16-foot piece of lumber, how many's hanging out the back?
I know, but if you think about it, if you go over the extended crew cab, over the hood of the vehicle, and you got 3 foot in the front, can I do that?
You can do that. All right, but as long as you don't stick 3 foot over the front and over 4 foot in the back, that's why
what I was getting at.
contractors you'll see what we call headache racks. Remember the old headache racks? You don't see much, but usually people that go to the lumber store do that on jobs. They'll have these top of racks on their thing because they know what the limitations are, and they use these racks to carry the lumber down the road.
What about elevation? 18 feet?
14?
No, you get 14 feet. Anything over 13'6", you're required to make sure you can go under it. The old law was 13'6" at the time. They raised it to 14 because that's what your car haulers going down the highway are 14 foot.
Gotcha.
So if that bridge says 13'6", and you got to make sure, and you got some limitations, whatever, you got to make sure it's your responsibility to make sure you can make. So if you hit it, you actually.
Now, troopers, that is a very good piece of information because there's many people coming from Lowe's, Home Depot, and all that kind of stuff who are hauling a bunch of stuff for their home properties. So that's a good piece of information. And
I like to see the mattresses on top of cars and stuff going down the road. You ever notice that?
That it's draped over like this?
Yeah, they don't stay on very well.
No, not very well at all. Okay, we got time.
Down the roadway.
I think we got time for one more question.
What about hand signals?
Go for it. Yeah, hand and arm
hand
signals
are legal in Texas. Of course, make a right turn. You extend your left arm out, make a 90-degree turn, put your hand up in the air. That's for a right turn.
Hand in the air, right.
Same as
right
like
turn.
a motorcycle
That's compared to
bike.
like this,
yeah,
right?
You leave your elbow or your arm on the right. Open your window, put your arm on the door, extend your arm straight up, leaving your arm on the door, making that right angle turn. Straight arm, straight out. It's going to make your left turn. And stopping or slowing, you do basically the opposite of the right turn. You're just going to droop your arm to the ground. So remember, if the visibility is not good or at night, it's going to be a no-go. Got to use your turn signals. But if your turn signals are not operational, yes, hand signals can work when the conditions are clear and present a safe.
Okay, so if we're pulling trailers, as long as
it depends on how good the vision
I've got you.
of the person
I know where
behind
you're
you
going
is.
with this, and I've got an answer for you.
All right. Well, then take it away, Trooper. Go ahead.
So here's the deal. Remember I told you when somebody asked me about trailers, the first thing I'm going to ask, what are you using it for?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So your farmers out there get a daytime exemption on lighting on their trailers. You ever notice that? Okay, you got the one buggy hay trailer. You'll see it, especially now everybody's cutting hay. All right? You're coming up behind a vehicle. You can't see taillights. All you see is a round bale of hay.
Yes.
If you're behind that vehicle, he's actually legal because we've had accidents where they said, well, the guy didn't have any lights on his trailer. Not required, farm trailer. So if you're approaching somebody from behind on that type of vehicle, you better make sure you allow him to do whatever he's doing, slowing him, make a left, right, whatever before you proceed, because he does get a daytime lighting exemption on that farm trailer.
And that's also like stock trailers for hauling cattle or horses. If you're behind one, don't assume that they have brake lights that are working because they're not legally required to have it unless it's dark.
Are they required to use hand and arm signals, though?
No.
Let me say that again.
Their lights on their truck work.
But you can't see it.
You can't see it because of the trailer.
Okay, so one would think it may not be illegal, but one would think if you can't see the trailer light, you would think that you might be able to see an arm sticking out the window. Is that a requirement or no? Because you don't need
because the signals are working.
Gotcha. And it's not illegal because he's got that type of trailer. Okay, gotcha. A lot of stuff here.
Yeah, a lot of exemptions for farmers out there. There's several.
They get exemption from motor vehicle inspection on the trailer.
And let me ask a question.
They get safety changes.
This is probably kind of obvious. I don't think you're going to be too anal about it unless something was done dangerously, you saw it, or an accident happened and the facts were found out, and then you're in violation. But in general, I'm going to guess there's a lot of stuff that gets by with no big deal. Would that be
No. Not through him, not by him.
Look, always remember this. It's the small things that get you stopped. It's the big things that why you end up in the county jail.
All right. Troopers, say your final words. We got 20 seconds.
I think I just did.
I can't top that.
All right. We'll be back, and we'll continue on. Troopers, Morgan and Washguard, appreciate you coming in every second
Even
Wednesday.
his mother is in deep trouble.
Okay, we'll be back. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures. If you've decided to carry a handgun for self-defense, you better know what you're doing. If you don't, you better learn fast. Not only fast, but thoroughly. Aaron's Gun Shop and High Cap Adventures fills the void between a Johnny wannabe and a person who has been properly trained in the proper handling and use of a firearm. Call me, Matt Betros, at 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com and set up a class or seminar to get you started on the road to proficiency with a firearm for self-defense. Go to our website, aaronsgunshop.com, and review the High Cap Adventures page. We have seminars to cover most forms of firearms training. Call 254-697-4721 or email me at aaronsgunshop@gmail.com to get more information on how to get started with your training. The time for games is over. Reality starts now. aaronsgunshop.com.
Bankruptcy attorney Ed Laughlin.
I really hate to see families suffer, especially when there's something they can do. If you have too many bills to pay, the truth is that filing bankruptcy may be the best thing you ever do. I'm not just saying it, let me prove it to you. That's why I offer a free initial consultation. Call me, because you shouldn't just have to sit there and worry.
Call 1-800-492-2589. The phone call is free and so is the appointment. You're going to feel a whole lot better.
Here's a question from Smith Supply. Who do you turn to for guidance when it comes to cleaning, disinfecting, or pool maintenance? From janitorial supplies, paper goods, and Pool Life pool supplies, at Smith Supply, we deliver what others promise. At a time when just about anyone can offer you a good deal, Smith Supply is where you'll find the best answers and customer service. We're located at 5202 Midway Drive behind Garland Shelton Pre-Owned Center in Temple. Smith Supply has everything to clean anything.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, groan-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have anybody to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here, June 10th, 2020. Bill Huffman, executive producer, and the Colonel, Rayford Brown, is with me. Give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Stream us live at logicnation.us. Social media is at Facebook, YouTube, and Vimeo at Logic Nation Radio. Don't forget, like us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Check us out at Twitter and Periscope at Logic Nation USA. Just got done with Troopers Morgan and Washko. Had a great conversation with them. But I was thinking, since we got done with them, I had an article here, which I found crazy. And I can only guess what the troopers would think, but that's their thought. I got a police chief forced to resign after supporting citizens who armed up against the riots. Let me read this article. This is crazy. We need to support people like this. Lowell, Michigan Police Chief Stephen Bakula was forced to resign on Thursday after 25 years with the force after writing on Facebook in support of 4 young men who armed themselves against potential violent protesters. Responding to phone calls that the Second Amendment demonstrators were open carrying down Main Street, Bakula wrote on the Lowell Police Department's Facebook page on Tuesday, quote, "We are aware and no need to call us," adding, "We at Lowell Police Department support the legally armed citizen and the Second Amendment." After a flood of complaints as part of what WZZM says was a pattern of inappropriate behavior, the city manager told Bakula to resign by 5 p.m. on Friday or be fired at 5:01 p.m. That guy needs to be inundated with freaking emails, phone calls, to tell him he's got his head up his fourth point of contact, and I'm talking the city manager. A disciplinary action report from city manager Michael Burris said Bakula was directed to make the post so residents were aware of the demonstrators. But when Burns read the last line, it appeared to be a political position, possibly escalating rhetoric. Burns asked him to remove that line, and Bakula responded with, "This is a true statement." The post gained some traction within the community, and Burns described the social media activity around it as hostile. The official Lowell Police Department Facebook page also added to the statement and defended in it the comments. People started one comment which said Lowell had an open carry demonstrators in town before. Yes, people are hypersensitive due to the riots and anarchists that have come to Michigan. They are exercising their right to open carry. No one has to agree or disagree. The comment was signed Chief. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? You got a police chief who is saying, you're legal, I support the Second Amendment, you're not breaking any laws, we're good to go. And the city manager, because their underwear's in a wad, because of all what's going on in political correctness, fires the dude.
So do I think that the city manager should receive a bunch of hate email? Nah, not my city, not my problem. If they're going to let this turkey run their town like that, they're going to get exactly the police department they deserve. I'd like to know how many cops walked with the boss.
Bill, I honestly, respectfully have to disagree with your statement. I think if you felt led to go send an email to that city manager, go do it and show him, listen, you're not in my town, but screw you, pal. This police chief is protecting my legal right to open carry or whatever method it was. They weren't doing anything wrong. And here you are, because you're so worried about political correctness, you're going to fire this guy after 25 years of service? What the hell's the matter? What's wrong with you? Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. I want to hear what you got to say on this. Okay, I'll tell you what, there's not much time left in the program. I only got about 40 minutes, and I didn't even do the quotes. Let me do the quotes. These are pretty easy. This is great individual in the sense of what they've achieved. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 quotes. If you can give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC and tell me who the author of these quotes are, you get a prize, because sitting next to Bill right now is a box full of unclaimed prizes. So we got a bunch of goodies. 1, I think God made a woman to be strong and not be trampled under the feet of men. I've always felt this way because my mother was a very strong woman without a husband. 2, greed has taken the whole universe and nobody is worried about their soul. 3, and I'd like to give my love to everybody and let them know that the grass may look greener on the other side, but believe me, it's just as hard to cut. Next one, Elvis was God-given. There's no other explanation. A Messiah comes around every few thousand years, and Elvis was it this time. I don't think a woman has to act like a woman to show that she has strength. But men are so full of greed today, they'll sell anything for a little piece of money. And finally, Elvis may be the king of rock and roll, and this should be the giveaway, but I am the queen. So there you go. Give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC. If you can tell me who the author of those quotes are, you win a prize. Okay, I'm fired up. Bill, you want to calm me down? I've got, go ahead, Bill.
Man, I'm ready. What do you want? How about stupid news? We haven't had any stupid news this morning.
Tell me about it.
Oh, I've got a couple of little gems for you right here. Things that
you were reading me those gems, and they're quite interesting. I want to hear them. I think everybody needs to hear them as well.
How about this? The president of the New York chapter of Black Lives Matter states that they are now receiving paramilitary training from ex-Special Forces soldiers and plan to mobilize justice teams of trained individuals to make sure that the cops are playing fair. Man, that's going to work out great, isn't it?
Man, that's going to be bad.
Bunch of guys in tactical gear, in their POV with a police scanner, and they hear that Trooper Washko has got somebody stopped by the side of the road, so 4 or 5 of them roar up, jump out of the truck with their ARs, and run towards them. What could possibly go wrong? Also, the TV show Cops, after 32 years, has been pulled. Also, Live PD, gone. Here's another piece of stupid news. Remember Jussie Smollett? You know, the guy that got beat up by the Trump supporter racist attackers that put a rope on him? or they didn't. He's still in court. He's still fighting the finances because don't nobody wants your money like Chicago wants your money. But now he claims that COVID is hampering his defense. LAPD reports homicides are up 250% over last week. But ladies and gentlemen, you always save the best for last. Our socially conscious friends at HBO Max have removed Gone with the Wind from its platform amid growing concerns about racial injustice in the wake of the killing of George Floyd. You see how that goes together, right? Gone with the Wind, George Floyd? No, me either. Stupid liberals. The Nanny, Hattie McDaniel, was the first African American to ever receive an Oscar for her performance. Not first African American woman, first African American. This woman was born in the 1890s. She was the first. Shame on you, HBO, you racist bastards.
Big black spider. Remember her? She says that?
Yeah. He'll wait for you like a spider.
Big black spider. All right, once again, the quotes. Actually, I want to hold off on the quotes. I want to talk about this. This was interesting. Money laundering. Global donations to BlackLivesMatter.com funnel to the DNC. Let's talk about this one here. Let's see. Democrats appear to be raising funds internationally using BlackLivesMatters.com as a money laundering operation in violation of campaign contribution laws.
Sounds fair to me.
One just needs to follow the money to reach this conclusion. Firstly, the Black Lives Matter website bills itself as a global organization whose mission is to eradicate white supremacy. Let me read it. It says, Black Lives Matters was founded in 2013 in response to the acquittal of Trayvon Martin's murderer. Black Lives Matters Foundation, Inc. is a global organization in the U.S., UK, and Canada whose mission is to eradicate white supremacy and build local power to intervene in violence inflicted on black communities by the state and vigilantes. By combating and countering acts of violence, creating space for black imagination, is that the word? And innovation, and centering black joy, we are winning immediate improvements in our lives. Colonel, are you chomping on the bit there?
Well, it's just that I think the Blue Wave website in the United States in the last election cycle was also accepting contributions from worldwide.
All right. Upon clicking the donate button on the Black Lives Matters website, you're redirected to Act Blue donations page, which is further revealed in fine print at the bottom of the page. And we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I'll continue on with it.
That looks like Ilhan Omar collecting money for the food pantry, and it linked to the Blue Wave website also.
Well, wait till you see, based on this information here, you're going to see who the top vendor recipients are and their dollar amounts. It's incredible. All right, we'll take a 3-minute break. We'll be back in just a minute. I got a caller on the line. We'll take that as well. See you in a few.
DWI and criminal defense attorney Ed Laughlin.
Just because you or a loved one has been pulled over or arrested for DWI does not mean you're guilty of DWI. I'm attorney Ed Laughlin, and to be arrested and charged with DWI, the officer has to only have probable cause that you're intoxicated. It's only the officer's opinion. However, to be convicted of DWI, your guilt must be proven beyond a reasonable doubt, which is a much stricter burden. If you have been arrested for DWI or any other offense and want an attorney who will rigorously defend you, call me at 1-800-492-2589 or log on to my website at edlaughlin.com. Over the past 25 years as an attorney, I've been both a prosecutor and now a defense attorney. You need an experienced attorney who will work hard to get you the justice that you deserve.
What are you waiting for? Call Ed now at 1-800-492-2589 to schedule a free confidential appointment or visit Ed's website at edlaughlin.com. First visit is always free. You're going to feel a whole lot better. See Ed's ad and names and numbers.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm gonna take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm gonna take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Hey, y'all, Jeff Foxworthy here. Now, if you've ever found yourself repeating the same thing over and over for 75 years, you might be Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
That's why I'm filling in for Smokey to switch things up, because there's a lot more to say. And I should know because my grandfather was a firefighter. And one of the things he taught me is that the people that love the outdoors the most are often the ones accidentally starting wildfires, which means always BYOB. No, bring your own bucket to the campfire. And be extra careful with things like burning yard trimmings. Don't just walk away, or chances are you might be starting a wildfire. So for the love of the outdoors, go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here. It is June 10, 2020. Got the phone bank filled up here. I got Colonel Rayford Brown, executive producer Bill Huffman is with me, and the Titan of Tech, Shane Currington. You, the listening audience, give me a call, 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Without further ado, without keeping them hanging on too much longer, let me get Mark on the line. Mark, it's always a pleasure. Thanks for calling. What's on your mind, buddy?
Hey, man, let me first do the lawyer thing. I'm not advocating or promoting anybody to do this type of stuff. But I'm telling you guys, they're pushing this racist agenda thing on down our throats. Don't know whether y'all are listening to the top of the hour news segments or bottom of the hour news blurbs or whatever in the studio there. But there have been 5 or 6 different stories this morning about negative stuff as far as to what's going on about, the white people and how we're treating, African Americans. Schumer, they've quoted Schumer's little speech about 4 different times this morning, and it's. I'm telling you what, I fished with a gentleman over the weekend. He's active duty military. He's almost a lieutenant. Let's put it that way. I won't even say what he's, but I don't want anybody to find out who he is. He told me flat out it's about time to start stacking bodies. People are getting fed up with this crap, guys. I'm telling you, it may get ugly. If they start defunding police, SWAT teams start standing down, cops don't start responding, which is already happening. I know it for a fact, being a cop. You start getting on my back, I start doing less of a job. And I'm telling you, we have to. Well, anyway.
Well, Mark, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You and I are rational people. Do you think that defunding a police department will really happen. Let me finish my statement. I think there's too many people with some common sense that aren't being promoted on media because the media just wants the ignorant and the foolish on there to promote a cause. Would you not think that there's enough people out there with some common sense that says, no way, man, this is ridiculous. Who the heck's going to cover me? 911 calls, who's going to take care of traffic, who's going to take care of all the things that, God bless them, that our law enforcement does on a daily basis?
We will be sending our hopes and prayers.
Yeah. What do you think, Mark?
Well, my personal opinion is, up north they're going to get sued by the unions because they got union contracts they got to fulfill. They're going to, if they lay them all off, they still got to pay them anyway, so that doesn't save them anything and it doesn't solve the problem. No, I don't think they're personally going to close any police departments, but like Los Angeles taking money away from the cops, cops are underpaid as it is and overworked.
Yep.
We go to certain neighborhoods because the crime rate is higher there. This is what I used to tell people. A certain, ethnic group wants to party in the middle of the street in front of everybody. A certain other ethnic group parties in their backyard and keeps it all quiet. You can figure out which group is which. Now, who's going to get the police patrols stopping in their neighborhood when you're doing something illegal out in the middle of that gum street? Or who's going to do it when they're in their barbecue in their own backyard, drinking beer, smoking something illegal? It's not going to be the ones partying in their backyard.
Yep.
And you don't have to think long and hard to figure that out. I mean, the cops know where the problem is. We don't just show up unannounced. What we do, but that's just a different situation.
I had a comment here on my show highlights that I didn't really get about this. Let me read something to you. Stand by. I go, think about this. City officials all across the country were shocked and overwhelmed by the latest rioting. And there have been, they've got huge resources to tap into. But what about you? Are you prepared? Have you changed the way you do things since COVID-19 and the riots? I have. I've learned and confirmed that I'm right. I've been right and will continue to be right in matters like these. Humans are friendly until they are not. And when they are not, they're damn right dangerous. So that's what you're going to be facing out there, especially if you want to defund law enforcement. You better figure out how to do it on your own because if the cops go away, you're on your own. And the way I've seen a lot of people out there, they're in for a big freaking surprise.
Mark, you're causing a lot of trouble. I got callers calling in saying, I agree with that guy.
Let me say two things, guys. Whether they defund the police and stuff happens or not, the cops are already standing down. I know. I just spoke with two Temple officers in the Walmart on 31st Street just a few minutes ago. These guys are not doing. We get nothing for it. We're underpaid. We're overworked. The slowdown has already started all across the nation. Expect crime to skyrocket. Even if they don't defund us, the police response will slow down. I'll tell you how we used to do it. You turn your lights on, you turn your siren on, you go 10 miles below the speed limit.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That's all I got to say, guys.
That's a
Thanks.
good. I mean,
Appreciate it.
look, Mark. That's a perfect example as to I think a lot more people understand what's going on because the guns have been purchased. It's out of this world. You can't get a firearm almost because everybody's buying it. I just had an article about the black community arming themselves up, and the article has someone to say that they're a little bit hesitant to promoting it out loud because there's a stigma to it that black person with a gun. Screw that. You're a legal person. You're good to go. I mean, yeah, I get it, the way the media hypes things up and all that kind of stuff, but people are buying guns at an incredible rate because they're seeing something and they're getting ready, and hopefully they're going to get the training that goes with it. Now, I got David in Temple Welfare. Stand by, David. Let me get you on the line. You only got about a minute, buddy. Give me your point.
Hello.
Go ahead, David.
Oh, Matt, how you doing?
Doing good, buddy. How you doing?
I just wanted to say that maybe they need to do away with this damn welfare crap over.
Well,
and let's see what they do now. After that.
We'll get rid of welfare totally. I'm okay with welfare for like 6 to 8 weeks because everybody has a hard break once in a while. But yeah, making it a lifestyle, heck no, man.
Cradle to grave, baby.
Cradle to grave. I totally dig what you're saying, David. I got a hard break. If you want to hang tight, you can. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Give me a call.
That's all right. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you, sir.
David, thanks for the brevity. Brevity is a soul of wit, and you, sir, just put out a whole bunch of good information. We'll be back in 3 minutes. See you on the other side.
Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop auto shop, family-owned and operated at 1402 North 3rd Street in Temple. Why go to another dealer? Quick Wrench Automotive, a full-service preventive maintenance and automotive repair center, offers a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on most repairs nationwide, which also includes complimentary roadside assistance. Quick Wrench also offers the best price for oil changes around at $17.95 plus tax, which includes 5 quarts of oil, new oil filter, washer fluid, and complimentary 23-point inspection. Other great deals are available on our Facebook page as well as our website, quickwrenchautomotive.com. Give us a call Monday through Friday at 254-935-2145 to speak with an ASE certified technician. Quick Wrench Automotive, your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs.
Here at the Logic Nation, we often encourage you to be logical. Now, I've got 2 more great words to live by. Get supplied. With Studio L as a center point, Smith Supply will provide you with everything to clean anything and deliver it on time within 150 miles. That means we can deliver cleaning supplies to any facility, any business, including hotels and motels, even industries and factories, anywhere in the Killeen, Temple, Fort Hood Metro, Waco, and Austin. No matter where you are, we can ship to your order. We also provide janitorial services and building maintenance in some areas, and our Temple showroom and our online catalog are open to the public. We're here to save you money and get your supplies to you on time, every time. So, get supplied. Since 1961, we're Smith Supply, 254-773-3592, and online at smithsupply.com.
Art Coons, the owner of ANC Firearms in Heidenhammer, Texas, is an avid gun enthusiast and enjoys helping all of his customers to find the gun that's perfect for them. With a large selection of pistols, rifles, and shotguns, finding the right gun becomes easy. Go to ANC Firearms, located at 5819 U.S. Highway 190 in Heidenhammer, or call them 254-983-4417. Pistols, rifles, shotguns, ammo, knives, and a whole lot more. ANC Firearms, 254-983-4417.
Water is the absolute worst thing for your driveway. It seeps below the surface and erodes the base, which leads to cracks and uneven slabs of concrete. Call the Driveway Company. Our certified concrete specialists will lift, fill, and seal your driveway, keeping it beautiful for years to come and saving you thousands of dollars. Call today for a free inspection.
The Driveway Company. Call today at 293-SEAL, 293-SEAL.
Welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here. It's June 10, 2020. Bill Huffman, executive producer, the Colonel Rayford Brown, Shane Currington, the Titan of Tech. You, the listening audience. David, the other David, call back. We're out of break now. I'd like to hear what you had to say. And the number is 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Let me do the quotes real quick. If you can tell me who they are, give me a call. We'll give you a prize. I think God made a woman to be strong and not to be trampled upon under the feet of men. I've always felt this way because my mother was a very strong woman without a husband. 2, greed has taken the whole universe and nobody is worried about their soul. 3, and I like to give my love to everybody and let them know that the grass may look green on the other side, but believe me, it's just as hard to cut. Elvis was God-given. There's no other explanation. A Messiah comes around every few thousand years, and Elvis was it this time. I don't think a woman has to act like a man to show that she has strength. But men are so full of greed today, they'll sell anything for a little piece of money. And finally, Elvis may be the king of rock and roll, but I am the queen. That should give it away right there. We were talking about money laundering, global donations going to blacklivesmatters.com being funneled to the DNC. And then, Colonel, you had mentioned Act Blue. Well, I've got some charts here. Act Blue is a nonprofit technology organization that enables Democrats, progressive groups, and nonprofits to raise money on the internet by providing them with the online fundraising software, according to its Wikipedia page. Act Blue claims to be tax-exempt organization, and all donations to it are tax deductible. The terms and conditions also linked to Act Blue and mention campaign finance laws. Now, where did the Act Blue money go?
Campaign finances can't be tax exempt.
Well, look, the vast majority of Act Blue's expenditures go to Democrat or far-left campaign contributions. I got a list here. It shows top vendors and recipients. Bernie, in 2020, $186 million plus. Biden for president, $119 million plus. Elizabeth Warren, Exploratory Committee, $93 million plus. Pete for America, $78 million. Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee, $55 million. Army for America, $43 million. Friends of Andrew Yang.
Well, that's good. It's for the Army, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry, Amy. Did I say Army? Amy for America. Friends for Andrew Yang, $31 million. Democratic Senatorial Campaign Committee, $31 million. The DNC, $29 million. And Amy McGrath for Senate, $29 million. The Federal Election Commission website specifically states that federal law prohibits contributions, donations, expenditures, and disbursements solicited, directed, received, or made directly or indirectly by or for or from foreign nationals in connection with any election, federal, state, or local. So, is Act Blue really a charitable organization or simply an illegal funding arm of the DNC? What do you think on that?
It seems rather obvious, but there have been no prosecutions that I know of in the former election.
Well, look at all the people in power and all that they've done. It's obvious that Hillary Clinton's crooked. It's obvious that Comey's crooked. It's obvious that all these others are crooked. No prosecution. So if we use that basis of format or template, gosh, can you imagine what's going on here? Okay. Also, Bill, we've got donations going to all these people. It doesn't look good as to what's going on. Let's see here, contributions. They got another graph here breaking it all down as well. It doesn't look good.
Well, come on. We understand what the hell we're looking at, right? You know, the, I thought, defunct Clinton Foundation just donated $2.2 million to help with internet voting because, you know, internet stuff is safe, like emails. Emails are forever, right? So, unless you bleach pit the damn thing. You beat it with a hammer.
Judicial Watch sued Los Angeles to remove 1.6 million excess voters from their rolls. Now, you know they're going to send out ballots to everybody on the rolls, so nothing could go wrong with that. And here's Judicial Watch sues North Carolina to clean its voter rolls, and the total number of excessive voters on the rolls exceeds the census population by a considerable amount.
All right, I'm at a break. We got to take a hard break. 3 minutes. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. Give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC. We'll finish up the show with the final segment. We'll talk about Tom Arnold, the dirtbag. We'll see you on the other side.
I spend a lot of time in the garage, but even more time in the rain, sleet, and mud. In 95, I helped tow your moving trailer. In 05, I helped you get out of a ditch. Yeah, I know I'm a bit rusty, and sadly in 09, it was sparks from me, your handy chains, dragging behind your truck that accidentally started a wildfire.
Sparks from dragging chains can start a wildfire. Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad, just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Yeah, welcome back, everybody, to Logic Nation. Matt, your host here, June 10th, 2020. If you want to get a final comment in, give me a call at 866-89-LOGIC, 866-895-6442. Here's something interesting. Tom Arnold. Y'all know Tom Arnold, right? Tom Arnold. Time to get rifles to go nose to nose with Trump's gang of misfit tools. Here we go. This is from Breitbart. Far-left actor Tom Arnold took to Twitter over the weekend to announce it is time for, quote, white liberal men to borrow their dad's hunting rifles and go nose to nose with Trump's gang of misfit tools in the wake of the death of George Floyd amid nationwide Black Lives Matter protests. Second Amendment is for everyone, including black men with long guns, but it's effing time for us white liberal men to stand up for our brothers and sisters, tweet Arnold. Borrow our dad's hunting rifles and go nose to nose with Trump's gang of misfit tools. Let's do it.
I hope they're that easy to operate. I guess they are, right? You just pick up the hunting rifle and then you point that picture tube thing at the guy, and when you see him, you go bang, and he dies. Is it kind of like how you know? When was the first lesson you ever heard about a shotgun? You should have a shotgun for home defense, because you know what? You don't even have to aim it. You just point that thing towards the room where you think they are and pull the trigger and everybody in there dies.
No, you shoot it up in the air.
Well, what I think is interesting, go to your daddy. They're all living with their daddies, their mom and dad. I'm going to go get daddy's rifle. Look,
I can't.
Where's your own? And I'll tell you what, if you're going to make a broad statement like that, dude, you're in for a big freaking surprise. Okay? You're in for a big surprise. You better be careful what you say, because if you start pointing guns at people, you may end up seeing that those things that you're pointing at kind of shoot back at you. All right? So be careful what you wish for. Remember the guy who was driving down the road in a protest in his little black car and got surrounded, came to a stop, somebody punched him, and then he shot the individual and ran to the police and gave himself up? Well, they're claiming him as a known white supremacist, and he's a Latino. Okay?
Oh, he's one of those white Mexicans that we like. George, what's his name that killed Trayvon Martin? He was a white Mexican. It's the first time I ever heard that, a white Mexican.
He went to the police. I saw the video. He ran through the crowd, immediately going to the police saying, "Hey, look, somebody's jacking my car. I shot them." He had his hands up. He gets taken into police custody. He's now got a bond or a bail at $150,000. So for the average Joe, that'd be about $15,000. It's got to come out of your pocket, about 10%.
Yep.
Okay. So they get it wrong. They're promoting the race card. This guy, when you watch the video, I tell you what, if I'm going down a street and for some dumb reason I'm on the wrong street and I'm not trying to do anything, but I'm trying to get out of there and you're jumping through my window and punching me, you're in big trouble.
We're done.
You're in big trouble.
Yeah.
That's it.
The very least, I'm going to grab a hold of you, kick it up to about 65, and then let you go.
I train for stuff like that. Okay, so trust me. Don't jump in my window. Don't do it. That's all I got to say.
Probably good counsel.
I made a comment as well about black gun ownership soaring in nation's inner cities. And this is from Zero Hedge. A radical leftist attempt to create a utopian police-free future society and defund law enforcement across the country terrified African Americans interested in buying guns and have soared in the age of social unrest. The conversation about gun ownership among black folks emerged in early May when 5 armed men escorted African-American State Representative Sarah Anthony from the Michigan State Capitol building following the Trump pro-protesters about the gun rights. Okay, they were concerned about it, but this goes far beyond this. This goes to the point where they realize, look, I'm a law-abiding citizen. I just don't want to be jacked, okay? But everybody's going crazy and is mayhem and rioting. I need to protect myself. And so women are buying more guns. African Americans are buying more guns. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a woman, what race you are. If you're legal to buy a gun, I support you, brother and sister in arms. That's the way you do it. Defend yourself, your property, your loved ones. I got no issues with that. And anybody who tries to spin it a different direction, shame on them. All right, we're fixing to take a 21-hour break. You guys got any final comments?
I love America, but you're keeping me up at night. You really are. Can you settle down? Can you just settle down? Wash your hands.
We are under attack from multiple fronts. CAIR, Hamas, the Muslim. And it's interesting that the blacks support the Muslims, but it's the Muslim doctrine. They still have slaves today. They still have slave markets that are operating. And it doesn't make a lot of sense.
We'll take a 21-hour break. Be back at 8 in the morning. Check us out at logicnation.us. And we'll be replaying the program right after the top of the hour news. So until then, God bless. Keep your powder dry.
One in 3 adults has prediabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your football buddy, your football buddy, or you, your best man, your worst man, you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org. That's doihaveprediabetes.org.
Wait, did they just say 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes? That's 33.33333% of adults. That means it could be me, my boss, or my boss's boss, or me, my favorite sister, or my other sister. That's 7 members of my 21-person romantic book club. Wait, the 1 in 3 could be me, my karaoke partner Carol, or my karaoke enemy Jeff. I'm going to take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
The following is made possible by Dad.
Why was the basketball court all wet? Because the players kept dribbling all over it.
The dad joke. Corny, grown-worthy, but also one of the simplest ways to share a moment with your kids.
Why do you have to be careful when it's raining cats and dogs? Because you might step in a poodle.
And kids that spend more time with their dads grow up to be smarter, more successful.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding.
And, with any luck, funnier adults.
Why didn't the skeleton go to the dance? Because he didn't have any body to go with.
Dad jokes rule. So take a moment to make a moment and give your kid a laugh. It's as easy as going to fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
That's really funny.